What's going on, guys? Indy here with Ultimate 2 Reviews. Now, I've got a set of Makita tools here and a set of Metabo HPT tools that aren't really the best match, but they kind of are. And let me explain. These are the Makita subcompact tools. I got one of the subcompact drills, one of the impact drivers, the 3/8 impact wrench, and I've also got the 6.5-inch saw back here. On the Metabo side, I've got just the regular drill here, kind of like their mid-range, lower mid-range tools here. Also got the new impact driver, not the triple hammer. This is just the regular, new kit one they came out with. That's in the drill kit with it. Right around like $129 right now for this kit. I've got one of the 1/2-inch impact wrenches you can commonly find on clearance at Lowe's for. I've actually got two of them for around $40 at different times. These things go on clearance pretty low at Lowe's, which is really cool. And I've also got one of these 6.5-inch circular saws as well that I also got for about $42 on clearance at Lowe's. Now, both of these sets of tools here cost me right around $220-ish. I got all of these on eBay, either used or open box, and I got all of these either on Amazon during one of their sales or at Lowe's on a clearance sale. Now, of course, totally different ways to get these tools, and of course, your mileage will vary when trying to find these certain deals here, but I thought it was very interesting just how close they are in size and price. Now, they are very different in power. There's not really going to be any power testing during this video because pretty much Metabo HPT's tools for this video basically are almost double the power of these Makita tools. The Makita tools are going for more precise use, definitely smaller tools for more like things like cabinet making, more smaller projects. They're not designed for more heavy duty stuff like the Metabo HPT tools. Also, things like the Metabo HPT and the Makita impacts are different size impacts. The Metabo HPT is a 1/2-inch and the Makita is a 3/8-inch impact. Of course, totally different for totally different uses. But you will notice the battery packs on all these are going to be the subcompact battery pack style, or the compact battery pack style, if you want to call that. Now on the Metabo HPT, we have the new version of the 2 amp hour battery packs here with the fuel gauge. Makita does have that, but only on the 2 amp hour battery packs. They do have, of course, the 1.5s, but I got a couple of those, and they do not have the fuel gauge. But of course, Metabo has their 1.5s as well with no fuel gauge. However, though, to add to the value, Metabo HPT right now is having a free 3 amp hour battery rebate on any new tools purchased on Amazon, Lowe's. As long as it's a authorized retailer, you can pick up that rebate for those tools. So definitely value is going to be in the Metabo HPT section. Power is going to be in the Metabo HPT section as well too, as well as warranty. Metabo HPT wins again. So if you're wondering, I've always been kind of, looked down on the Makita subcompact series because there's just better options out there. But I wanted to try and buy all these tools myself and really see, hey, are they really good or not really so good? Okay, so the first two tools here are going to be the drills. They're both not hammer drills, just regular drill drivers. Now the Makita drill is going to be about 1/4 of an inch at most shorter than the Metabo drill. One of the biggest things I noticed between the two drills is the Makita drill is far quieter than the Metabo drill. It's very, very noticeable right away just how quiet the Makita one is. Also, the Metabo drill has a metal chuck, whereas the Makita drill has a plastic chuck. I am not a fan of the light being down here, whereas the Makita does have the light where I want it to be. Slight differences in these tools between using them. The Makita definitely feels a lot smoother to use, but the Metabo being, so cheap, also having that reactive force control, so if you're drilling something and your blade or bit catches, it's going to stop that tool for you and allow you to, of course, not break your wrist, whereas the Makita does not have that feature. Now, only thing unique on this tool here is that there is no adjustments or any type of speed control, electronic adjustment down here, which of course is very common for drills not to have. Same thing goes for the Metabo HPT, but this is the only tool where the Makita does not have any extra features, whereas when we go to the Metabo side, there is almost no features over there, whereas the Makitas do have. And let me show you what I mean by that, going over to the impact wrenches. So on the 3/8-inch impact wrench, one of my favorite tools that I like to use all the time, we do of course have a speed high-low and a bolt removal mode, which is awesome, which allows you to basically not have that bolt kind of fly on off. So it stops it when it senses that there is no more resistance. Now the Metabo HPT does have a couple of speed modes on here, which is awesome to see, but there is no bolt removal mode, which I do use quite a bit, and it's pretty nice to have there. Now on this tool, you can of course make adjustments to the light. There is a battery indicator on here, which is nice, but of course with the newer batteries with the battery light on there, you can see pretty quick what your battery level is at. Totally different tools here. I'm not saying these are really comparable, but I do like the 3/8 inch for its overall maneuverability and precision for smaller work and just kind of smaller jobs, especially using things like hex keys a lot. This is a fantastic tool for that. I use my Metabo HPT for changing tires a lot. It's a fantastic tool for that. Definitely has a good amount of power. Not the most powerful half-inch impact wrench out there, but it's good enough for most situations, which is phenomenal. Again, though, 3-year warranty, lifetime warranty, quite a difference there between these two tools. And again, which one do you need to use more? If you need more 3/8 inch, depending on the type of work you do, or you need more half-inch, that's kind of your options. Now, Makita does make a half-inch impact, but it's way more expensive than the tools that we're comparing here, so it's not really going to be part of this comparison here. And then also Metabo HPT does not make a 3/8 inch impact, which is a big downside. I really wish they did. They make some awesome tools. I'm just surprised they don't make anything else other than really just this half-inch. They have a mid-torque and a high torque, and that's about it, unfortunately. All right, moving over to impact drivers. This is really where things get interesting with this comparison. Now, when you compare these two impact drivers, the Metabo HPT is definitely way more powerful, and you're thinking, hey, it's also way shorter too. Wouldn't that make the Metabo the instant winner here? I'm gonna say no. I actually really like the Makita design, and Makita does this quite a bit, where instead of having a very short and stubby impact driver, which they do make those, this thing is very thin and allows you to get into a lot of places without even having to use a bit extension. Whereas a lot of these really short and stubby impact drivers, you still might need a bit extension to get in there, as well as you are quite thick here in the head, and it makes it kind of difficult to really get into some nice angles, especially doing things like cabinet making, even minor electronic repairs. The Makita is definitely way superior. Also, there is no speed control on this impact at all. It's just going to be full speed and trigger control. That is it. Whereas the Makita, of course, has the same modes as the impact driver. They have a high and a low, giving you more precision with the trigger, and a automatic screw mode, which gives you more control with things like self-tapping screws, which is pretty cool to use. Not something I use necessarily a ton, but if you're doing a bunch of self-tapping screws, that is a fantastic mode to have for this tool. And here's where things actually get pretty evened out. We have the Makita subcompact circular saw and the Metabo HPT 6.5 inch circular saw. Both of these saws are brushless. I will say from using them both quite a bit, the Metabo HPT definitely has less power. It seems to bog down very easily, and it doesn't like to use the smaller batteries, whereas the Makita is actually pretty solid, and it's quite powerful for what it is, for being such a tiny little saw. These saws are pretty similar in size and weight. It's actually surprisingly a close comparison between these two saws. The one major difference in these two saws is that the Makita battery packs slide on perpendicular to the saw, whereas the Metabo HPT battery packs slide on parallel to the saw. So it actually helps make the Makita slightly more compact by having that battery this direction versus this direction in the tool. It's not really a big thing that you notice a ton between those two tools, but if you're trying to get into tighter spots, the Makita can definitely do it slightly better. All right, so guys, at the end of the day, the comparison between these two types of tools, yes, they are similar sized and similar priced, depending on how you buy them. How I kind of found some deals on them, they kind of came out to around the same price points. I will say the Makita is definitely for smaller projects that require more precision. Things like cabinet making, maybe someone that does maybe more of service and maintenance type work, whereas the Metabo HPT tools are definitely going to be much more heavy duty. They're not as refined as the Makita tools, less options for, of course, speed controls and features. They're definitely a bit more loud, but the better warranty, much easier to find these tools at lower pricing, and of course, being able to get the free battery pack rebates really give the Metabo HPT tools a huge advantage over the Makita tools. While I definitely see how the Makita subcompact series is pretty cool, and I definitely like tools like the 3/8 inch impact wrench, which are super cheap and definitely a very handy tool to have on hand at all times. I actually got 2 of these now because I think they're super handy to have. I just can't really vouch for the Makita subcompact series. I really want to give them a nice, full chance here, totally give them the benefit of the doubt here. But with other brands, especially like Metabo HPT out here, with very similar priced tools that are right on the same size category, putting out nearly double the power at way better warranty, I really gotta give it to Metabo HPT for especially this category of kind of that near subcompact stuff in an amazing price point, which how cheap these tools can get. It's really hard to beat Metabo HPT. Whereas I do see where Makita's coming from with the subcompact series. They are very expensive. They definitely lack significant amounts of power. and of course, they don't have the warranty that Metabo HPT does. So guys, if you got any questions, leave them in the comments below. Happy to answer them. And if you want to see some more specs, I'll post a few more in the comments as well too. So guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Have a great day and stay safe out there.